Welcome back to the Road Show. In the buzz this morning, how much money should you give? And how about that pesky +1 invite?
That is tricky. Joining us to talk about some of the biggest wedding wonders is Christine Clark, a wedding planner, who can kind of help us sort out some of our wedding etiquette issues, because when you start planning these things and money is involved, there are a lot of emotions that flare up. So let's get to it.
First of all, let's just make this clear. Things have changed since I got married 17 years ago. Okay? Compared to when you got married
3 years ago.
3 years ago. So big difference. So we're going to approach it from those different angles, and you're going to tell us what still stays and what's out the window.
Now, here's my first question. First of all, is it appropriate for a bride to ask her bridesmaids to change their appearance? Like, I know some people say, listen, the purple hair, if you could tone it down, but all the way to, you know, losing weight or cover your tattoos. I mean, what's appropriate? What's okay for a bride to ask, do you think?
I think these are your family and friends. Like, you've got to accept them as they are. You really can't ask them to change their appearance totally. You know, you can ask them on the day to wear their hair a certain way and sort of go that way, but to ask someone to, you know, lose weight or change their hair, that's a lot to ask.
Now, what is this thing we talked about at the beginning? The pesky +1.
The +1.
What is that?
Let me tell you. Wait. I'm going to lay down the lowdown for the +1. Here's my feeling, and if I am out of line, you just let me know, Christine.
Well, I just might do that.
Here's the thing. Weddings are very expensive.
Yes.
And if I'm inviting you, I'm not inviting your flavor of the week. If you and your partner are engaged or have been in such a substantial relationship, then fine. If not, go stag, meet somebody.
See, I disagree with that, because who's there to meet? Everybody's got a date.
What do you think?
You know, I think if you're in a relationship, you could, you know, bring your +1.
Okay, you think bride should allow
that.
If you're not in a relationship, you think it's okay to come by yourself?
Well, you know,
you should come by yourself.
Your other friends are there. I'm sure you know family or friends, and you know that's.
And boy, won't you be feeling pretty lonely sitting by yourself, sipping champagne by yourself.
I was sitting at with the friends
But you don't
table
go to a wedding by yourself. I mean, you don't go to a wedding not knowing anybody.
See,
so
that's
you know
the one
somebody.
exception I would make. I went to my hairdresser's wedding this last weekend. It was, and I didn't really know anybody, and she was very
gracious. But you're married.
I know, but she said to me, my husband wasn't able to go, and she even said to me, you can bring a friend since you don't know anybody.
Here's my other question.
Well.
And this is her wedding, actually, that I was at.
Well, and a beautiful wedding it is. Here's my other question. How much do you give? The one thing that I've just recently heard is that you're supposed to give what the plate costs.
Exactly.
Cover your plate.
Cover your plate.
Still a rule?
Absolutely.
Very interesting.
How do you find out what the plate costs?
Well, I think it's you guesstimate.
Take a guess at it?
Yep. Usually about $50 per person.
Really? I just went to one and it cost me $250.
Wow.
That was a heck of a wedding.
Well, you know, I want to talk to Courtney Caligiero about this, because she is actually planning a wedding right now. And one other thing I wanted to ask you, RSVPs. How do you get people to RSVP when they haven't called in and not RSVP'd?
Call Aretha Franklin.
What's the...
I'm joking.
Well, the venue gives you a cutoff date. So my suggestion is to, you know, call, send an email, see what's going on.
Courtney, this is all familiar for you.
I want to weigh in really quick on the +1. I do have a question if we have a second. What happens when guests, I haven't sent out my invitations out yet, but they're assuming they're bringing someone, but don't maybe have a boyfriend or girlfriend, have already said, I've got to find someone.
You know what should
What do you do?
I think no one should assume, but what do you do?
Yeah, I would say they would need to ask you, you know, and make sure that it's okay with you before they, you know, show up with an extra person or write it down on their RSVP.
So it's their mistake in etiquette, Court, not yours.
Absolutely.
But I'm a little afraid of confrontation, so I think everyone was going to get one. So, but I was just curious. I don't know the rules. I'm kind of just
laying the smack down.
Flying by the seat of my pants here. But we're talking about the +1 guest debacle here on the live blog, if you guys want to check it out. And here's what some people were saying: if, you know, guests should bring a significant other if they're not married. And Ashley says, I think it all depends on the bride and groom. And Lisa says, I think your guest should be allowed to bring one guest as a date, especially if they're dating someone. And a bunch of people are just saying yes. They said yes, they should definitely be allowed. So I guess I should take that as a hint here. But we have a poll here on foxprovidence.com, and we're asking all of you, should guests with significant others get a +1 invite? Choices are A, yes, it's wedding etiquette; B, no, not unless the couple is married; or C, it's the bride and groom's decision. So you guys can weigh on there, and of course jump on Facebook or the live blog to let us know. But I will be back in 30 minutes with the official results, so we can check that out.